Good evening, I'm Nolan Johannes.
And I'm Karen Harch. The people of Centralia, plagued by a mine fire, are one step closer to getting out of town. We'll explain.
And I'm Mark Davis. Investigators here in Wilkes-Barre are trying to unravel a million-dollar mystery tonight.
And I'm Bob Costantini in Scranton. The ammonia gas leak has stopped.
Those stories and more next on Newswatch 16.
How the West was won Saturday only on WNEP 16.
This is the news station, WNEP 16.
Good evening. They should be moving out before the end of the year.
People who don't want to live in Centralia any longer got some good news today. The U.S. House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a bill that would give $42 million of Uncle Sam's money to relocate people in the Columbia County community. They've been living on top of an underground mine fire for 21 years, and the majority of Centralians want to be moved out. The relocation money still needs the okay from the Senate and the President, but that's expected to come in the next several weeks. Our sources say the Centralia families who want to leave town should be able to get the money to do so before December.
Police in Wilkes-Barre are trying to unravel $1 million mystery tonight. Many people involved in the investigation of yesterday's Bartikowsky jewelry burglary are being tight-lipped about the case. But Newswatch 16's Mark Davis has found some new information, and he's live now in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Mark?
That's right, Karen. One of the new things I found out today is part of the $1 million investigation going on right now here in Wilkes-Barre, here at the Bartikowsky Jewelers in downtown. One of the agencies involved now is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. They came into it today. Now, the break-in here, where more than $1 million in gems and other items were taken either late Monday night or early Tuesday morning, is sending shockwaves all over this city. I talked with 7 different jewelers today, and they all said, well, they wouldn't say too much about security because of this break-in. Security is a pretty sticky subject, but they said they're very concerned, and they're not saying whether or not they're stepping up security. But everyone I talked to, police, store owners, everyone alike, is very concerned about what happened right here. This day after the $1 million heist was discovered is spent taking inventory. A few Bartikowsky employees came in to help count and account for the store's inventory. Newswatch 16 has learned that several people have been questioned about this break-in, but no one is considered a suspect, at least not yet. And police are said to have a number of good leads. Several sources are calling this theft the work of a real professional, someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Now, a more than $1 million burglary is raising some questions about security in stores like Bartikowsky's. AAA Security, which handles the Bartikowskys, is not commenting. But other security people like Larry Benta, in the business for 7 years, tell me that when a store like Bartikowsky's is burglarized, it makes everyone in the security business work a little bit harder. Is there such a thing as a 100% burglar-proof system that nobody can break?
That nobody can break? I don't think that nobody could break, no.
Larry Banta tells me that security experts are likely to learn something from the Bartikowsky break-in because someone knew how to breach a so-called sophisticated security system. Now, there is a few other additional notes. Bartikowsky's was closed today, so that inventory you saw in those pictures could be completed. That is now, for the most part, done as far as the physical part of the inventory, and Bartikowsky's here in downtown Wilkes-Barre reopens tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Karen, Nolan?
Mark, you said the store will reopen tomorrow. What about the stock that was stolen? Will that be replaced?
It will be, but at least not yet. They tell me that there's still some matching against the books that has to be done, so beginning next week they'll start replacing the inventory. But it comes at a very bad time to buy diamonds. Now is the busy season as all of the jewelers stock up for Christmas, so it will be replaced, but little at a time beginning next week.
Okay, thank you, Mark. In Wayne County, a whole string of businesses were hit by burglars overnight. State police say cash registers in 8 offices from Honesdale to White Mills were broken into. The break-ins included a drive-in theater, used car lots, and the White Mills post office. All the places entered suffered extensive damages. Honesdale State Police say they have no leads to the burglaries at this time. Nolan?
There's relief tonight in a West Scranton neighborhood. For the past 2 nights, an ammonia leak in a tank on the old Dairy Lee property was making some people sick and others uncomfortable and worried. Now, Scranton fire officials say the danger from that tank is over. Bob Costantini is live now in West Scranton to tell us what has happened. Bob?
Nolan, the good thing here at Decker Court in West Side Scranton is that there is no smell of ammonia. Fire officials tell us that the ammonia tanks back here, the 2 ammonia tanks that have been leaking for the past couple of days, have leaked out all of the ammonia. It was 2 days ago that a demolition crew knocking down this old Dairy Lee building off North Main Street in Scranton ruptured a line and ammonia began leaking out. One leak was plugged on Monday night, but another one apparently came out on Tuesday. All the time time the ammonia gas was annoying to the people who were living in this area around here. It's a residential section here in Decker Court in North Main Street. Now they say they are relieved that the problem is over. But one thing, though, the tanks that were supposed to be removed for the past couple of days won't be removed. And that is the situation right now. No ammonia smell. People are not getting any headaches anymore here in this area. Bob Costantini live with the Instacam in Westside Scranton. Nolan?
Okay, thank you, Bob. Well, there's something in the air in another Scranton neighborhood, dust, a lot of it. Newswatch 16's Dorothy Lucey says the dirty problem is raising all kinds of concerns tonight.
You may say this windowsill is filthy, but Jim Foley says his wife just cleaned the dirt days ago.
It's from these trucks going by. It's just really deplorable. It's disgusting. I don't know how we can live under these conditions.
And you get quite a view of the trucks from Foley's front porch here in North Scranton. These trucks are part of a federal mine flushing program that is to continue for a few years. The Department of Interior representative didn't want to talk to us on camera, but he did say he's aware of the dust problem, and he hopes this water tank will wash it away. And just across the street from Foley's house is this playground for Holy Rosary School. The school is just up the street. But the principal of that school says sometimes during the school day, this playground frightens her.
They're playing football, and the balls are coming, and if they go into the street, the trucks are just moving constantly.
We usually play football down here, and the trucks usually come down here, and it goes out there, and we can't get the footballs. We already lost one down there. We had to get it after school.
Kids like Robbie also have to cross this busy truck street to get to and from school. Once a Scranton policeman helped the kids cross, but as far as a permanent solution, the government representative says he hasn't been working on the problem because no one has told him about it. So, some neighbors here in North Scranton tell me they're going to start talking about the problem because they're afraid someday a child may dart out across this street and not make it safely here to the other side. Dorothy Lucey, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
A Scranton landfill named in the illegal waste dumping case against William Lavelle of Scranton has been ordered closed down. The Department of Environmental Resources says the Morgan Highway Landfill is filled to capacity. The State Attorney General's office says thousands of barrels of toxic chemicals were allegedly dumped there by William Lavelle. He faces racketeering charges. Tomorrow, DER will release its findings from a borehole study done at the Morgan Highway Landfill. Scranton city officials will find out if there's any danger at that dump site. And we'll also tell you about a town running into water problems.
How high will you try? $16,000 can be yours weekdays at 4.
Students had to move fast early today from their 8-story dormitory at Bloomsburg State University. The fire broke out in a 4th-floor study room at Columbia Hall. Flames were limited, however, to 2 chairs, with heavy smoke damage throughout the 4th floor there. Fire investigators are calling the Bloomsburg fire suspicious. There were no injuries. Karen?
Nolan, fighting a fire like that one in Bloomsburg takes a lot of water. In fact, what would we do without water? There's one small community in Lehigh County that found out. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds says the taps are back on tonight in the Heidelberg Heights, but there's a chance they may run dry again.
Nestled in the hills of Lehigh County sits the community of Heidelberg Heights, just northwest of Allentown. It's a quiet place, but lately, anger has been building up behind these walls.
We've been storing water. We never know when we're going to have it. Consequently, we have to keep water. I have water here that's been filled. All these containers are filled with water. There's several gallons of water in here.
Marjorie Deck and some 30 other families are fed up. For a month and a half, their water supply has been on again, off again. That's because the well, which supplies the neighborhood, is drying up. National Utilities of Scranton owns the water company. Only now, the water company has state permission to begin using another well. For now, the water situation has been corrected, but state officials say that may only be temporary. National Utilities says it's doing all it can to keep the water flowing. The owners have nearly doubled water bills in Heidelberg Heights since 1980. What will these people do if the company again asks folks to dig deeper in their pockets?
I don't know. They might try to lynch the mailman if he delivers something like that.
I think it would be foolhardy on their part to have the gall to come back and ask us for more money when they're not even supplying us with what they should be all along.
For now, the water's back on in Heidelberg Heights, but there's a chance the next time you go for a glass of water, Someone in Heidelberg Heights will be filling up a bottle, a pot, or a can, just in case. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Lehigh County.
So our meteorologist Tom Clark has a rainy and cloudy forecast.
Hey, Joe.
Well, the forecast is anything but a prize. It's pretty dreary, Tom.
It is, Karen. I will win no prizes for today's forecast after missing the forecast high by more than 10 degrees. But we did have some rain in the forecast, and 14 hundredths fell in this backyard in about 14 minutes. It poured for a while this afternoon. The first band of rain has moved through. The second one is on the way. Here's what we have temperature-wise outside now. We have mostly clear skies overhead at the moment, 68 degrees on the old thermometer. The humidity is 72%. The wind southwest at 12 and gusty. The barometer now is holding steady at 29.66, quite low. The high today was 80 and the low last night was 59. Records 89 on this date back in 1941, and the record low is 30. Now that's a graveyard there in the town of Neff, the village of Neff down in Lehigh County, and they say that people are just dying to get there. Now let's go to the Newswatch 16 color satellite photograph. There they are, the clouds ahead of and in line with a cold front now pushing across western Pennsylvania. A line of showers and thunderstorms right there that crossed over eastern counties this afternoon are now east of our area, but another line of showers now in line with that. That'll get here along about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock this evening in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. Behind it, cooler, drier air. Look at this. That's coming in for the next couple of days. The weather looks terrific with a lack of rain heading into the weekend. But this line is moving through pretty quickly, and you can see some of the rain that affected that Baltimore game down there, some showers down that way. But as you can see, we're in pretty good shape. But Indiana last night picked up to 3.5 inches of rain. Now here's our forecast for tonight. We'll have a few more showers out there as that front moves on through. 53 in Harvey's Lake, 53 in McEwensville out there in Northumberland County. Hello out there. 52 in Swiftwater in the Poconos, and 55 the low tonight down in Frackville. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine out there and a cool breeze in the afternoon. Not bad at all. 65 in Factoryville up in Wyoming County, 68 in Nanacoke down there in Neffs. There it is, 72. 71 in Sunbury, 68 in Williamsport tomorrow. Winds gusting up to 15 miles per hour. Here's our Health Watch forecast for Thursday tomorrow. Reflexes look quite good because of the clearing conditions and lots of sunshine. And look at that, down at the mood index, very high. Good day to perhaps hit your boss for a raise. But it will be a good day for football players and hockey goaltenders, all right? Partly sunny tomorrow. Look at Friday and Saturday. Very nice. Temperatures seasonable. And we should get through the weekend, as I see it now, without any rain at all. So little rain yet tonight. Much better tomorrow. Karen, Nolan?
We'll look forward to that, Tom. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. And Joe Zone is next with the sports, and baseball playoffs are in high gear.
Plus, the Nittany Lions gear up for the Crimson Tide.
Everything you want to know about outdoor life Saturday.
It's suck-up-the-gut time at Penn State. They've put together back-to-back wins over Temple and Rutgers, but now the big boys are back. The wins over Temple and Rutgers were important because it got the Nittany Lions on the winning track and in the right frame of mind for Alabama. That's right, one of the early surprises for Penn State, and it seems like they always come up with some kid we've never heard of, is running back D.J. Dozier. The freshman rushed for 196 yards last week. That's a freshman record at Penn State. And he's gone over 100 3 straight times. But Joe Paterno has a lot of reservations about his freshman sensation.
Well, I hope we don't have to run him that much, but he looks like he's going to be a pretty good back. And you're in a tough game like that, and you got to get what you can get. I just hope we don't run him to death.
Dozier figures to play a major role in Penn State's game plan against Alabama. Paterno wants to keep the ball away from the third-ranked Tide's offense. To do that, they've got to keep the ball on offense, and Dozier's running could be a big key. That game will be televised nationally Saturday from Penn State beginning at 4 o'clock. By the way, to accommodate the people who want to watch that game, the Berwick-Williamsport game has been moved up a half hour to 8 o'clock. So you can watch the Penn State-Alabama game on TV and then go right to the Berwick-Williamsport game, and that could be a good one there on Saturday night. Berwick, the #1 team in the Super 16. They're 5-0, coming off a 25-0 shutout of powerful Mount Carmel. In case you're counting, the Bulldogs have won 37 of their last 38 games. Their only loss during that stretch to Coughlin in last year's Eastern Conference playoffs. Williamsport, unranked in the Super 16, but still a good, solid team. They haven't given up a touchdown in their last 17 quarters. They're 4-1, their only loss coming to 4th-ranked Pottsville. Well, it's playoff football for the Scranton Eagles, but you know, that's kind of a habit for our local semi-pro football guys anyway. For the second straight year, they're playing for the Empire Football League Championship, and after that, maybe a national title. All of the games along the way might be played at Scranton's Memorial Stadium. You see, in semi-pro football playoffs, the size of the crowd at any particular game usually decides where the next game will be played. So the home crowd is very important to the Eagles, but not just in terms of getting another home game. These guys are better football players in front of their Scranton fans.
Seems that the hits are harder and the tackles are crisper and the blocks are a little bit different.
We get psyched up a lot more, and it psychs the other team out right out when they see a big crowd. When they only come down and expect 1,000 people to be there, and they see 5,000 people in the stand, you know, it's unbelievable for them. They don't expect that because they never have it at their home games.
Sometimes, for sure, the home field advantage can be overplayed, but not true in semi-pro football, where long road trips can really hurt a team.
The trip alone is 5 hours, and when you get up there, like we did before, we were a little fatigued and tired, and we weren't up to par.
So don't underestimate the home field advantage. It just might turn out to be the Eagles' ticket to a national championship. Eagles home Saturday, 6 o'clock, Scranton Memorial Stadium against Glens Falls. It's for the championship. If you're a hunter and you're looking for a doe license, these are very anxious times. First come, first served, or the lottery system. It never seems to be quite fair. At any rate, in Lackawanna County today, where they do use the lottery system, 2,600 antlerless licenses were drawn from a barrel, which actually contained thousands more applications. Those people won't be so fortunate, the ones left back in the barrel. The 2,600 lucky hunters will be hearing from Harrisburg shortly. Those of you who did not get your application drawn from the barrel can still apply for a license, by the way, in another county. Okay, the fishing forecast for tomorrow. If you want to go out in about 35 minutes, it'll be great. It'll be dark and lonely, too. And then tomorrow, 2 o'clock, another good time. Lots of peaks there for the first new moon in October. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock with Sports Star.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Okay.
And still ahead, what's ahead for local industry?
We get down to business with that story when we come back.
The Northeast Pennsylvania Industrial Show is open today and tomorrow at the Kingston Armory. Over 3,000 industrial and business product lines on display.
Finally tonight, they're bullish on business right here in our area, and they ought to know. Area businessmen and salesmen are showing off their stuff at the Kingston Armory through tomorrow. Tonight, Newswatch 16's Mark Davis shows us what's there and finds an air of optimism.
This past spring, we saw a tremendous improvement.
O.S. Parker is optimistic about the economy, and he speaks from experience. Parker's company, Autolift Incorporated of 44, sells a variety of items mainly tied to business expansion, and it's been a successful operation now for the last 37 years. In that almost 40 years of operation, do you think this is the time that things are finally turning around?
Well, we've had some pretty good times before. I really hope so. I really think it might. I think there is a trend, an upward trend.
Carmelox also provides a complete line of controls precisely matched to ensure optimum performance of every heating cable installation.
About 125 local companies are spending the next few days at the 109th Armory, showing off the best of their business wares, everything from transmissions to boiler fittings, trying to prove that whatever a business may need is available right here in our area.
This industrial show is really geared to a special audience, not to the general public, but to the special audience of business people and salespeople. And if the businessmen I talk to are right, they're the kinds of people who should be willing to spend some money to expand and to change, because they're the ones who are finally seeing some better economic times ahead. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16 at the 109th Armory.
And that's good news, so that's our report for this day.
Next on Nightline, will the Nobel Peace Prize bring peace to Poland, plus selling human organs for profits?
For the entire Newswatch 16 team, thank you for joining us tonight on The Update.
Good night.